because already I can see someone said, okay, can we record the session? Someone already thought we've started, but I was just trying to lay some foundation to what we're going to be speaking on in the next couple of minutes. I just want to have a feel of where you're joining from. You listening to me right now, where are you connected from? Let me know on the chat. I want to have that feedback on the chat. Let me know just your name and your location, where you are joining from, your name and your location. I just want to have the feedback on the chat right now. Name, location, name, location. I just want to see, just to see the demography of our audience tonight. Where are you joining us from? Can I get the feedback, please? Your name and your location. Okay. So I'm seeing, let me see the first name there. John Paul from Alberta, okay? Then Olajumoke, London, Ontario. Sosa from Calgary. Njideka from Calgary. Tosin from Canada, okay? Adizwa from Milton, Ontario. We have Ozibo from Winnipeg, okay? And we have Perry joining from New York. And we have Akil from Winnipeg, Tola from Maryland, USA, Wale from Winnipeg, and we have Tolani from where? You just wrote your name. Tell us where you're joining from. Favor from Edmonton and Lanley from Calgary, and we have Chimi from Toronto, and we have Blessing from Ontario, Brampton, Adedoja from London. Then we've got Inzube joining from Toronto, Omotorani from Ottawa. Then we have Philandis joining from Stouffville, Houston, Texas. Then we've got Sunday joining from Toronto, and we've got Fajobi from New York, and we've got Isaac from Kitchener. Then we've also gotten Chinonso from Manitoba, Tommy Sim from Ottawa, Abdurazak from Ottawa as well, Gideon from South Africa. Okay, great. And we have Ayo from Edmonton, and Olayemi from Calgary, Olumide from Calgary as well, Tosin from BC, Anorika from Hamilton. Then we've got Olayitan from Winnipeg, Ayomide from United Kingdom, Funsho from UK as well. Incredible feedback here, guys. Ayo from Barrie, then Taya from Toronto. Keep them coming, keep them coming, keep them coming. Rose from Texas. Then we have Sedor from Edmonton, and we have Ayomide from Manchester, United Kingdom. Okay? Keep them coming. Incredible audience tonight. Incredible audience. This shows that we have got our audience, joining us globally, right? It's safe to say this. We've got audience joining us from different countries, and I really want to appreciate each and every one of you, for making our time to join us this evening, or this morning, or afternoon, depending on where you're joining from. So what I want to do right now, I'm going to be sharing my screen, just to kind of walk us through some of the things that we want to discuss today, lay some foundation. And from there, we will also get some of our alumni to share their stories, especially in terms of their journey. And then from there, we're going to take some questions for some of you that have questions. Your question could be in respect to cybersecurity. It could be a question in respect to career. Maybe where you are now, you are underemployed. You're just wondering, you're just thinking, at what point am I going to move out from this comfort zone into the growth zone? You're thinking, you're wondering. This might just be the opportunity you have, to ask those questions and get all your, questions answered. That will really help you to make informed decision. All right. So thank you so much, guys, once again for joining us. And just like I was saying, I will not forget, that testimony of the gentleman, one of our alumni that moved on from security guard to GRC consultant. Today, working with one of the banks, earning fantastic 6-figure salary. This was a guy after 3 years within the survival mode. Things turn around by taking action, and today is a different story entirely. So one thing that is very important is to understand that, hey, you can achieve anything. Anything you want to achieve, you can. It's all about you as a person, right? What are you seeing? What is your motivation? What is your why? Understanding your why, understanding your motivation, and most importantly, identifying a tech ecosystem that is ready to support your career growth. Very, very important, so that you are sure to get all the support you need as you make what? Progress in your career. Let me share my screen quickly and let me know if you're able to see my screen. Okay. All right, so let's go quickly to all right, so can you all see my screen? Yeah or nay? If you can, just say yeah on the chat. If you can see my screen and it's coming out very well, you can see it properly, just say yes on the, okay. All right, fantastic, fantastic. Okay, I can see the feedback. All right, thanks everyone, thanks everyone. All right, so let's quickly, yeah, so let me make it bigger, all right? So quickly, let me introduce myself briefly. My name is Ositawajifor, and I'm the founder of Black Tech. For those that know me, they will tell you that this man likes to make good trouble. So when it comes to tech, tech is something that I, as a person, have seen how tech transform lives over the years. And it's something that I'm very, very passionate about, because seeing lives of professionals transformed, it makes sense that you are able to, constantly find ways to encourage and support others that are trying to what? Pivot into the tech ecosystem. There are a lot of possibilities. So many possibilities within the tech space. But the question is, are you ready as a person, right? Because you got to be ready to take on the chances. If you are not ready, then at the end of the day, you will just be a spectator. You are looking, but you are not taking what? You are not taking on chances. 1 second, just give me a sec. Okay, cool. All right, so my name is Ositawajifor. So I've been in the tech space for over 20 years. 20 years plus within the tech ecosystem. I started my career as a business analyst, and from business analysis, I've done a couple of work as well as a cybersecurity professional. From there, I moved on to management consulting, where I work with IBM, consulting for multiple organizations across different geographies. From there, I also have picked up skills in Agile, Scrum Master, SAP, ERP expertise, project management, Salesforce, and tech executive, where, I lead multiple teams in implementation of solutions for different organizations across multiple geographies. Now, let me move quickly to Black Tech. What is Black Tech all about? What are we trying to achieve as an ecosystem? Today, Black Tech is the leading tech ecosystem in Canada that focuses on premium tech programs. So what we do is to develop programs that are impactful, not just impactful, program with project and experiential learning, so that you learn and be able to acquire these capabilities and into a project. After working on the project, you are able to now gain the theoretical knowledge, practical knowledge, and project experience. That will be enough to take you into what? The job market and secure the job that you deserve. So one thing that we've done is that we realize, there are so many trainings out there, but some of these trainings are not grounded enough. Some of the trainings do not necessarily have everything that professionals need in order to secure jobs. So one of the things we have done is actually what? To do things a little bit differently, so that professionals that are looking at what? Getting into the tech ecosystem have not just the theoretical knowledge, but they also have what? The capability and everything they need in order to get into the what? Into the tech space. Those are the focus in terms of what we are trying to do in the Black Tech ecosystem. So as I mentioned, it's something that we are very passionate about, because we've seen how tech transformed the life of professionals over the years. Lives have been transformed, And we believe so much that this transformation can only happen within the tech ecosystem. So there are so many things. So there are so many things in tech that is very important for us to have clear understanding about. I'm going to be speaking to some of them as we make progress, okay? Now, look at this young lady, Yetunde. So many years of experience, 10 years experience banking. Back in Nigeria, she was head of operations of one of the banks. And from there, she worked as a marketer as well. Then from there, she also even have MBA. Most immigrants actually have masters before coming to Canada. So she came into this country with all this experience. But guess what? Even with all the experience, it was difficult for her to secure a very good job. Very difficult. Now, the next thing she did was, of course, it was customer service, which many professionals tend to go for. There's nothing wrong with it. You got to pay the bills. So you might want to start from there. But there is something wrong when you stay there for too long. That is what we often talk about. It's not about survival job. It's how long have you been in that particular situation. After that, customer service. She realized that why should I continue earning $47K? Why my mates are earning $100 and something thousand? That was it. She pivoted into what? Into business analysis, all right? After the training with the project, today she's working with KPMG, earning $115,000 from 47 to 115. And when we talk about 115, there are a lot of our alumni on 150K, 160K, far higher than this. But this is on the average. But look at the difference. From customer service to tech, and what she's doing today, there's nothing technical about what she's doing. Simply using her soft skills, facilitations, stakeholder management, and so on and so forth, and comfortably working from home as well, right? So there are a lot of benefits in pivoting into tech. Now look at the second guy, Chris. Chris came from Kenya. He had, lofty dreams. He wanted to become, an immigrant. He wanted to become, someone that is able to earn very, very good salary. He has lofty dreams. But when he came here, it was a different ball game. The first few months was very tough, according to him. And what? He was working as factory assistant. From there, security guard. And finally, look at how much he's earning right now, $127,000. Let's move quickly to Angela. Angela from Ghana moved in here with a lot of experience back home. She has got this experience in hotel management. She has got MBA as well, but came to Canada, personal support worker, PSW. She was earning some decent money, $78,000, right? But of course, the job wasn't that easy for her. I think she was working on 2 jobs or thereabouts with crazy shift. And sometimes it's difficult to really, work on this job and also, effectively balance the home front. Guess what? She moved into data analytics. Today, 6-figure salary, working with RBC Bank, $105,000. And the best part for her was she's working from home. So these are incredible things that you will see out of hundreds of testimonies. And you'll be like, wow. This kind of information are information that every immigrant needs to be aware of. It's not enough to be aware of this and hold it to yourself. You got to share with others. Someone that is currently underemployed. Someone that currently is not earning good money. Someone right now that is struggling. Why not encourage them? Tech could just be the way forward. Because the beauty of tech as well is that there's that low barrier to entry. It's unlike other areas. If you want to go into law, medicine, healthcare, there are licenses, even financial advisor. You need to write exam, write license, and all those stuff. In tech, nothing. What you need is skill. Once you have the skill, you're good to go. Certification is even secondary. You don't necessarily need to have any certification in the tech space in order to get a job. Those are secondary. What matters is the skill, and you are good to go. Do you see the importance and the advantage of what? Getting into the tech space. Now, let's talk briefly about cybersecurity. Now, why cybersecurity? If you're interested in cybersecurity, if, for example, you are thinking right now, cybersecurity is what I want to do, you're wondering, is it the right thing for me? Why do you want to go into cybersecurity? Because there are so many areas in tech. Tech is like an ocean. You have cybersecurity, business analysis, data analysis, project management, cloud computing, Scrum Master, ServiceNow, Salesforce, so many things. And sometimes it could be overwhelming because when you are not sure which one to go for, it leads to, one being overwhelmed. But when you speak with a Black Tech career advisor, they will guide you, looking at your background, looking at where you are today and where you want to go. They will guide you to understand your skills, what we call discovery call. Based on that, there was going to be some skill mapping that will enable them to guide you appropriately on the pathway to go, right? Now, cybersecurity, the demand is high. There's no two ways about it. There's no gainsaying the fact that there is increase in the demand of cybersecurity professionals. Go to LinkedIn Jobs, go to Indeed, go to Monster, check out cybersecurity jobs. You'll be astonished at the amount of open vacancies that you will see. So many jobs are available. Companies, organizations, majority of them pivoted into the cloud during the COVID era. So move into the cloud without even thinking about security posture, thinking about hackers and thinking about vulnerabilities. They had to do what? Migrate. But what is going on right now? Many of them are now beginning to, see loopholes, gaps in their current cybersecurity architecture. So what they got to do, they need guys, they need men and women, they need professionals that have got the skills to help them in ensuring that they are able to guard their what? Digital assets, to avoid any form of breach, to avoid any form of hack, to avoid any form of disruption to business or to operation. So there's that increase today of cybersecurity professionals. If you look at this again, few talents. How many persons? If you go to the university, for instance, many people even go to university to, some go to university to study cybersecurity, but how many of those colleges and universities are really grounded to teach you stuff that when you are done, you can hit the ground running in terms of getting jobs? Some of our alumni, when they enroll into the program, some of the feedback you hear from them is that some of the training they have done in colleges and universities are mostly theoretical. Theoretical means what? Those trainings lack hands-on skills and also they lack support. Because it's not just about training, it's also about getting the right support. When you have interview coming up, do you have a mentor to guide you through? You have a resume? Do you have a mentor to review with you? Is there any, all these things are key. When you have this, it gives you some level of confidence to keep going, knowing fully well there is an ecosystem that is there for you, okay? Then, of course, predictions of growth in open position. Look at this. Employment of information security analysts is projected to grow 32% from 2018 to 2028, much faster than the average of all occupations. Do you see that? This is, look at the projection, 32%. The demand is in the increase. So it's not even dwindling or coming down in any way. Even with the advent of AI, artificial intelligence and all that, cybersecurity professionals are even needed the more because AI is a threat. Irrespective that it has got so many advantages, there are also a bit of what? Disadvantages of AI, right? So there are a lot of things, that cybersecurity professionals are required and needed to do within an organization. Unlimited online resources, You see, there are so many resources. Go to Cybrary, SAMS Institute, Udemy. Sometimes you see some free courses there. Google search, you go to Google, you go to YouTube, AI chat GPT is there now too. All these are a lot of resources that could really help you to pick some understanding, some learning, self-thoughts, to make understanding of what cybersecurity is all about in order for you to progress. But at the same time, Black Tech Cyber School is there. Why Black Tech is different from all these I've mentioned is because all the ones I've mentioned, you're going to have a lot of trainings there, but most of those trainings are online videos that have been pre-recorded. Then you just, click on the recording and you're watching the video, someone is speaking to you and stuff like that. Now ask yourself, what about if you have a challenge? What about if there's need for you to ask questions? What about if you got stuck somewhere? Who is going to guide you? Who is going to help you? Who is going to support you? That is the challenge with the online videos. But what we do at Black Tech is instructor-led programs led by expert instructors. So you have human beings with industry experience sitting in front of you, guiding you step by step. So when you have questions, you need clarifications at any point in time, you have got what? Support. That is critical, especially if you are reskilling, if you are pivoting into the cybersecurity ecosystem. It's not enough to do training. You need to ask yourself, is support readily available when I need it? Okay? So it's very important to think along those lines. Then, of course, there are a lot of misconceptions about cybersecurity. Some people will think, oh, you must be a hacker. Oh, you hear some people say to catch a thief, you got to think like a thief. Right? Oh, stuff like that. You must be a hacker. You must learn how to program. You must learn coding, all those stuff. You must be a technical guru. Those are a lot of myths out there. Then too, you can see it's overwhelming and the toughest job with constant pressure. As if every time there's pressure on you. Morning pressure, afternoon pressure, night. There's no time to sleep. These are some of the things that people talk about sometimes. But in reality, that is not the case. Then we have the next one that say you need to have a computer science background, meaning, oh, I need to have a computer science background, or I must have done some technical stuff in the past for me to get into cybersecurity. The answer is no. So these are some of the things people come up with sometimes. And when people consistently talk about things, even if they are false, along the line, many people will tend to take those things to be true. And that is why it's good to demystify those things, right? And completely, tell you as it is. Not just telling you, but seeing humans like you that have walked the path without any background in tech, but today doing fantastically well. That is enough proof to tell you that, hey, this is the way to go. Even without an IT background, if this person can do it, then I can do it, okay? Then, of course, you can see the other ones. You are not willing, lack of confidence, right? Let the achievement of others inspire you and not intimidate you. I just mentioned that you are not willing to apply yourself. You have to practice, right? That's why we talk about practice in cybersecurity. If you join the Black Tech program, there's going to be practicals. You're going to work on practicals and projects as well. All these things have a way of deepening your skill set and helping you to be a thoroughbred professional. Create your own lab as well, They're easy to lose passion, beware of burnout, Yes, because in cybersecurity, you need to be inquisitive. You need to know what is going on. What is the next big thing? What is happening out there? What is the latest, malware attack? What is the latest cybersecurity breach? You need to be aware of all these things. Because the more aware you are, the more you'll be able to understand what is going on and help your organization with recommendations or insight on how to combat any of those challenges. So you cannot be a cybersecurity professional without having an inquisitive mindset. You need to have that because it's very important. Then, of course, you talk about finding the right certification. Many tech jobs today, you will see where, organizations, when they list out the JDs, they will mention certain certifications as well. So it's important. As you are moving along in your career, you're also thinking, how do I get certification in one or two areas? Because certification kind of help to validate, right? Because if a hiring manager is looking at you, he or she has not worked with you before, he or she will simply, go to bank on what you are telling them. But one of the things that will give them some level of comfort is when they see a certification as well. That's why we also encourage our students to also write certification exams. And the cybersecurity program we deliver in Black Tech is delivered in conjunction with CompTIA, the world famous, renowned cybersecurity institute that focuses on training and certification in cybersecurity. So being part of Black Tech, you will be able to get up to 30% discount on certification vouchers. So any exam you want to write, you can get up to 30% discount to write any exam, courtesy of our partnership with CompTIA. Okay? Now, what do I want to do? Do you want to get into cybersecurity? You want to get into the technical side? Yeah? Remember, cybersecurity have got subdomains. The way I always explain this is like medicine. Okay? If you want to become a surgeon and you've gotten an admission to get into a particular school, when you get into university, there is no way the lecturers will start teaching you about surgery from the first semester or second semester or even second year. No. You will first of all start learning human digestive system, right? You talk about anatomy, physiology. You start learning all those things. Those are the things you start learning. As you make progress towards final year, that is when you will now see, students, medical students choosing the different pathway they want to pursue. Some will now, pick interest to become dentist. Some will pick interest to become gynecologist. Some will pick interest to become pediatrician. Some will pick interest to become surgeon, and so on and so forth. That analogy is what you will use whenever you are thinking about cybersecurity. Because in cybersecurity, we have also gotten different domains. You can become a network analyst, specializing in network architecture. You could be specializing in SOC, security operations. You could be specializing in GRC, governance, risk and compliance, which has nothing to do with any technicality. It's about policies, procedures, right? You can also specialize to become a forensic analyst. There are so many areas in cybersecurity. That's the beauty of it. So no matter your background, no matter your inclination or passion, there is something for you within the cybersecurity space. Okay? Then, of course, another thing that is very important to mention is that you need to be strategic, find people with similar experience and certification. Then, of course, read reviews, relevance to your target location. Then, is it industry recognized? You have to think along these areas as you pursue certification. Benefit of certification, I've talked about this before. Benchmark to validate, of course, to validate your skill. Then you talk about recruiters and employers tend to want to speak with you, especially those in the consulting space. Deloitte, KPMG, Ernst & Young, all these guys, they value certifications so much. So if you are pivoting into cybersecurity and you acquire any of these certifications, trust me, that alone could just open up doors for you. Because consulting companies, they relate with a lot of clients. And when they meet with clients, they talk about the expertise of their team. And some of those expertise of their team that they are talking about is what? Experience and certification. So they will talk about this guy, Mr. A, is a certified cybersecurity expert with certification in CISSP, SAC Plus, blah, 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 blah. That is the packaging. They got to package you so that the client will know that, wow, these guys are bringing experts to work in our team. So they value it. And please go for it if you are considering going into cybersecurity. Very vital for making roles changes as well. Shows you can be focused and goal-oriented, meaning that I want to write this exam, I was focused enough and to be able to pursue and achieve the exam. All these things tells a story about you, and the hiring manager and recruiters love to hear that. Now, some of the domains I mentioned before, you can pivot into, you can move into security architecture. You can move into offensive security. You can move into incident detection and response. You can move into application security. You can move into cloud security. Then we have what? Even careers in governance, GRC, governance, risk, and compliance. These are some of the areas in cybersecurity that you can pivot into. Just the way you have medicine. Someone cannot come out and say, I'm a medical expert. No. You got to be an expert in some area. You right? One can say, I'm a medical expert in surgery. Yes, that is understandable. That means you've got specialized skill in surgery. Another can say, I am a medical expert. I as a dentist. That is specialization. Right? So the same thing applies as well. Some doctors can pick 2 skills. Yes, it's possible. In cyber, the same thing as well. You can be good in SOC. You can be good in incident management. You can also be good in application security. Those are possibilities. But you cannot say you are good in all areas in cybersecurity. That is not possible, right? So there is something for you, depending on how you want to go for it. Now, how do you get a job? As entry-level professional, entry-level, because that's the question we always get. How do I get a job? One of the key ways through which you can easily get a job is enrolling in programs that will be able to equip you through theory, practical, and projects. In addition, provide support for your job search. Very, very important. Support is key. And also an ecosystem that could provide job references and referrals for you. So you're applying for a job in a company and they're able to provide what? Referral. Those are very important as well, because those referrals will bring you in front of the hiring manager. So these are very important. And if you look at the screen, we know it can be tough finding entry-level job roles when searching for jobs. We have compiled a list of common entry-level job titles in cybersecurity to help get you started. Yes, it could be tough sometimes. But look at all this. Information security analyst. Some people will just go on and they will just set up a lot in LinkedIn job and they're looking for cybersecurity analyst. There are different titles that organizations use. You got to be familiar with all this, because that will help you to vary the titles that you are setting, so that whenever jobs are posted with these titles, you'll be able to get notifications. You have cybersecurity analyst, security analyst, IT security specialist, cloud security analyst, cyber defense analyst, cyber threat detection analyst, cyber risk analyst, information security assurance, network security. You can see all these are areas that you can pivot into as what? Entry-level cybersecurity professional. With the training, you can pivot into any of these. If you have some background already, you can even go ahead and secure, senior cybersecurity roles. We have gotten and seen so many of our alumni today able to get cybersecurity jobs for $120K and above. Some senior cybersecurity analyst positions. Last month, or the last 2 months, a couple, husband and wife, that finished the program were able to secure over $300,000 cybersecurity jobs, husband and wife. Their combined salary plus benefits, everything is over $300,000. That was incredible. The wife started first and convinced the husband to enroll as well. Today, it's a different story for that family, right? So any of this can be the role you are interested to pivot into. I've spoken about certification. I've spoken about the bridging program as well. How do you maintain momentum? Identify your areas of strength. If you're that kind of person, you're open to programming, you're open to coding, you might eventually concentrate more to become a pen tester, to become a forensic analyst, any of this role. That requires some bit of understanding of scripting and coding. If you're that kind of person that, you don't want anything coding at all, you just want something that will be more like, facilitation of meeting, collaboration, understanding, requirements and understanding the different security issues, policies, guidelines, SOPs, all those kind of, then you might simply focus and become a GRC consultant, governance, risk, and compliance. With that role, you don't need to arm yourself with technicalities, right? So we have so many professionals today able to get into the GRC space and earning good money. Okay, so identify your strength. Then follow the influencers, get career mentors like the one I talk about in Black Tech, network with people with like minds in our ecosystem. You are not just joining to learn, you are also joining to network with other people that are also on the same pathway with you. Those are the kind of advantage you get, because when but even Bible said it, iron sharpened iron. So you want to come into an ecosystem where you could work with others, that are constantly pushing the limits. When you do that, you will see that you yourself will be motivated and you'll be able to accomplish that goal. Motivation is key in this journey, okay? Then if you look at this, you see different certifications, so many, depending on the pathway that you want to take. If it's network security, you can see so many certifications that you probably want to write. You don't necessarily need to write all of them. Just pick about 2 or 3 that are in demand and set a plan, career goal for yourself and begin to take it on one after the other, right? So depending on the pathway you want to take, there are so many certifications there that you might be interested in. Then, of course, if you look at certification as well, in CompTIA, you have if you're starting from the very, very foundation, IT fundamentals. That is why in Black Tech today, if you are joining our cybersecurity program, we start teaching from IT fundamentals. That's where we start. What is a computer? What is a software? What is a hardware? What is an operating system? What are peripheral devices? We break things down. When you understand all this, then it makes the journey smoother and easier for you, right? So after IT fundamental, then we, of course, Security Plus, that is what we have, that is the outline that we have used to tailor and design the program. So it covers all the key components and key areas in cyber security. Okay? All right, so we have a program coming up, 29th of July. 29. You don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss it. And we have some few slots left. So you are looking at moving into cybersecurity, looking at, immersing yourself in an environment where you will be supported to grow and achieve your career aspiration. Then this program is for you, right? You'll come in and you'll be able to collaborate, not just with your peers, but also with the faculties and the ecosystem mentors that are ready to work with you to achieve your goal. 29th of September, of July, that is next week, Saturday, the program will be kicking off. So make sure you attend, and also feel free to share this with any of your networks as well. Get people aware of this to know that this program is not the one that people talk about 6 weeks. You cannot achieve cybersecurity pivot in 6 weeks. This is 14 good weeks, solid. After this, you are still part of the ecosystem for continuous support as well, okay? Thank you guys for listening. What I'm going to be doing right now is to get 1 or 2 of our alumni, to kind of share their story, share their journey, how they did the pivot. It wasn't easy, yes, but they did it. Same thing applies to hundreds that today have been able to pivot. It was not easy, but they were able to accomplish it. Same thing applies to you as a person listening to me right now, right? It might not be easy to make a pivot, but is it doable? The answer is yes. Knowing fully well that the answer is yes helps you to know that, hey, if this person can do it, then I can do it. It's very, very important, because when you hear people talk and they tell you their story and they tell you, some of the strategies they adopted that worked for them, you will know that, okay, I myself can do this. But when you don't hear those kind of stories and testimonies, you feel that these are not possible. Osita is speaking, you think, Osita is speaking because he has got tons of experience in tech, it's easy for him, or blah, blah, blah. But there are many like you without any tech background. Today, they are killing it. Today, incredible successes. That is what we are seeing within the ecosystem today. Okay, so let's use like the next 5-10 minutes, get our alumni to speak, and after that, we go into question and answers, where I will be happy to take on your questions and get you, all the necessary clarifications that you need. But I want to be sure that what I've shared so far has been helpful. If you think what I've shared so far has been helpful, please say yeah on the chat. Say yeah on the chat. I just want to get your quick feedback. I know everybody is muted because we don't want noise from the background, but I want to make sure that you guys have been able to gain some insight listening to me in the last couple of minutes. If you think you've gained 1 or 2 things, just say yeah on the chat. And if you think you haven't gained anything, say nay on the chat as well. So as we talk about the years, we can also look at the nays as well, if any. All right? All right, great. So let me get on Olayinka. Olayinka is someone that I would say was very, very resolute. He knew what he wanted from the get-go. Had conversation with our career advisors, get some clarification on what he wanted to do. He knew he just wanted more. He knew that underemployment can be broken by taking action. He took action and participated in our last cohort, and from there, networked with other professionals, got all the support he needed in the ecosystem, and landed a fantastic cybersecurity offer. And it's not like the guy has been an IT person all this while. So these are possibilities, okay? Olayinka, are you there? Let me get you to unmute yourself, Olayinka. If you're there, are you able to unmute yourself?
Yes, Osita, thank you. Good evening.
Fantastic.
I've unmuted myself. Can you hear me?
How are you today?
I'm doing great, boss. What about you?
I'm terrific. I'm terrific.
Awesome.
Nice to see you. And
Yeah,
how is Manitoba?
Yeah, awesome. We cannot complain. Everything is going well.
I love to hear that.
Yeah.
I love to hear that. Sometimes people think that, hey, it's only in Toronto that you can get tech jobs. Tech jobs is everywhere. Everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we would like to hear from you, because it's always great to hear from those that have walked through this path. For you, at what point, just tell us, at what point did you make up your mind that you want to get into cybersecurity? Because when you came to Canada, that wasn't what you started doing. I guess you went to a few other things before you now make up your mind. You just want to share a little of that with us.
Okay, thank you, Osita. Good evening, everyone. So, like I've been rightly introduced, my name is Olayinka, and I want to tell you, it's a privilege to be here tonight. I want to really say that it's been a plus for me to come across Black Tech and Osita a few years ago, and they've been able to help me achieve my dream of landing my cybersecurity role. And I came into this session a bit late, but I was hearing some of the things that Osita was saying, and I can confirm that they are true. They are 100% correct. First of all, for me, like the question that he asked me, that what made me to say I want to go into cybersecurity. We all know that cybersecurity among the IT fields now is one of the most in-demanding skills that are relevant, that are required by every organization. So for that reason alone, being so in-demanding, the jobs will always be there. It's just for us to get the right skills and certification. And being in Black Tech, I can assure you that you are in the right place. So first of all, because cybersecurity is very in-demanding, every organization now, because what is cybersecurity? We protect information, we protect data, we protect assets of organization. So, and every organization has these things that I'm talking about. So it is always very relevant. And I can assure you that regardless of what goes on around the world, it will still continue to be in demand. So That is one of the things that makes me to desire. And I remember the day I put a call through to Osita that, okay, this is what I want to do. He's like, oh, why do you want to do this? He asked few questions, you know, as an advisor, based on his experience, he was able to guide me through and mentor, like, oh, this is the right thing for you to do. And I want to also mention that, like he rightly said, regardless of your background, I haven't worked in a tech field before, in IT. I've worked in bank before, right? But I'm not like a core IT person. So those little experience that we have in whatever we have done before, maybe in banking, whatever unit that you have, I'm sure we all work with data. We all work with customers' information, you know, in one way or the other. Those are what we are talking about. How can we convert these into a broader perspective and bring it into cybersecurity? I can tell you that there's no experience that is not relevant in one way. It just depends on how we can convert these skills and experience that we've had in whatever field that we are coming from. So I want to say that, so based on my understanding and my discussion, I was able to now look, oh, this is the best fit for me. And and I started the journey, and it's been awesome. So coming back to Black Tech, I can say a lot of things about the program itself, the faculty, from beginning to the end. They've been awesome. And even ongoing support to get the job. I mean, that is all you need. Like Osita rightly said, you might not get some of these things outside. Honestly, as a Black community, for who we have, Black Tech is really doing a fantastic job to help people to pivot into their dream jobs. So Black Tech specifically helps us to understand all those basic theory, all those basic concepts of cybersecurity, and not also the theory, the practical aspects of the course. I remember during my class, we use Black Tech used the CompTIA Sec Plus, like you rightly said. Those curriculum is very strong and solid to give you a foundation that you need as a cybersecurity person. It now depends on which area you are strong that you want to go to. And I'm sure at the end of the day, if you have a coconut head, like we used to say, you are not giving up, you are not taking a no for an answer. It's just a matter of time. It might be challenging at time, at first, it might be rough, but we all know what we want. You know, so at the end of the day, we know that once you land a role and you are not giving up, you continue to learn, you always get to your destination. So like I said, the theory that is relevant, the practical based on CompTIA Sec Plus certification, program, where we are exposed to that. And like in my set then, I remember even before we completed our 3-month program, some of us have already passed the Sec Plus, and it helped a lot because, like you rightly said, employers want to see those certificates. You might not have CISSP, you might not have CISM or CISA, but at least get the basic one first. So CompTIA Sec Plus, the curriculum with Black Tech will help you to conveniently pass that exam. If you put in the effort, of course, if you put in the required work, everything that is needed. And the faculty member, then I must also say that they are very experienced, they are highly qualified, they are highly trained. I remember then they are CISSP, you know, those are the guys that are training us, and they're always willing to take questions, feedback in class. If you want to drive, you know, if you want to, take control of the system to show other people things you know, things that you have understood, they're always willing to do that. So then after our class, after the program, resume building, interview preparation. I remember a couple of times that I reached out to those guys when I was trying to get my role, to get my job. Once I get an interview call, I will screenshot, oh, this is the interview I have, maybe 2 days time. They were like, okay, what do you know about this? Which area do you need help? And they will give me time, you know. I will also go with something. Of course, they have taught us a lot of things. I will also prepare. It's not like I will ask them all the questions in this world, but at least those areas that are difficult for me to know, they will always prep me. And you know, I might not get it at the first time or the second time, but one thing is consistency. And one thing again is, if you look at some of these interviews, you know, some people might have challenge with that. You know, there are patterns of some of the questions that are being asked, both the theoretical and the practical questions that are being asked. So by the time you do 1, 2, 3, you see that these questions they are almost like the same pattern. So it's just for you to focus. I'm talking maybe, for example, cybersecurity analyst now. It's just to focus on those questions and those interviews and give it back to them. Nobody knows it all. And I believe at the end of the day, with God, everything will happen. So yeah, those are just the few things that I want to say on the success journey. Thank you.
Fantastic, Olayinka, fantastic. So quick one for you. Which of the areas in cybersecurity are you focusing on right now on the job?
Okay, so I am working as a cybersecurity analyst. So, and some of the things I do, I also major in GRC domain. I also do some risk assessment for my organization as part of analyst, you understand? So yeah, that's what I do day to day. So, but the other domains, it depends on your skill set and how much you can read, how much you can learn on your own to be able to stabilize, by pivot into any area that you like. But I am an analyst currently.
Yeah, fantastic. Awesome, great. Then how are you finding it?
Yeah.
Is it something that you have to work morning, afternoon, night, and midnight? Some people think when you're a cybersecurity person, then you become a robot. Yeah.
Oh no, the job, one of the flexibility that I've enjoyed, I thank God for that, is even the job, the opportunity comes with a remote opportunity. When you work from the comfort of your home in this time of, the world, yeah, it's one of those privileges that you enjoy. When you wake up, even sometimes 8 a.m., hi, good morning. You might even still want to go and, after that, you might even want to go and take your breakfast and come back, It's not like when you're in the office, So those privileges are there for you. So it's not like you work all through, the break time, you are flexible. It depends on your organization, but I know most organizations are flexible with, that remote opportunity alone, it's something that is massive because you can monitor the system that you're working online real time. So you don't need to travel to the office anytime. And like I said, I'm in Winnipeg, I believe if I can do it in Winnipeg, somebody in Toronto or maybe anywhere you are in the part of the world, so far you have your system which you can connect to the IT infrastructure of your organization. You can also do it.
Fantastic. I love that. Last time we have an alumni in UK. What's his name again? Daniel in UK secured a job after this program. Meanwhile, it's in UK. So literally anywhere you are. Now, let's see if we have one or two questions for you, and then I will get in it. Does anyone have a question for Olayinka? Anyone? You have a question for him? You've heard him speak, and you're wondering, okay, let me ask him one or two things just to see how the job is going for him. If you have any question, feel free. Just one or two questions. If you do, raise your hand, and will get you to just make sure you keep the question brief, okay? Adiola, go for it.
Okay, sorry. I just want to ask, good evening, and thank you for this basic knowledge that you've passed. I just want to ask that as a business analyst, can I transit to cybersecurity, and are there transferable skills from business analysis to cybersecurity? Then my second question is, do I need to know programming language before I can be successful as a cybersecurity analyst?
Okay, thank you, Adiola. When did you join? Did you join from the beginning, or you just joined a few minutes ago?
No, I joined from the beginning.
Yeah, because I've already answered some of this, right? Especially the second question in respect to if you need to have a programming skill. There was a slide I shared where I talked about the different areas in cybersecurity, right?
Oh, okay.
You remember? We talked about
yes.
There's one, you can talk about penetration testing, network architecture, governance, risk and compliance, forensic analysis, right? Yes. You have all these areas. So you don't need to have coding skill, except if you are looking at pivoting into the areas that has to do with forensic analysis, for instance, penetration testing. You will need some level of, some coding experience, because you need to probably write some scripts and be able to understand how to, navigate your way through some some of the environment. So, but if you're looking at something like SOC analysis, GRC, cybersecurity analysis like Olayinka is doing, you don't need any programming skill. You don't. Olayinka, are you a programmer? Do you need?
Absolutely, you don't need. If you know it for, I mean, but it's not like on the job, it's necessary. It is not a required skills, honestly.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
Is not,
so
not.
Easy peasy. Then the other question as a business analyst, yes, there are a lot of transferable skills from business analysis to cybersecurity, because as a business analyst, primarily you're responsible to what? Work with stakeholders, right? Understand their need, understand requirements, work with them collaboratively to recommend and provide solution, work with the technical team to implement solution, and so on and so forth. You've got all these skills as a business analyst. You can bring it on in cybersecurity as well. Think about it. You come into cybersecurity, like one of our alumni that is working in Deloitte. She was in the information session we had last month, right? She is working in Deloitte today as security in the security advisory team. Security advisory, that's what they do. So they are being assigned to different clients. Deloitte is one of the biggest cybersecurity employer in Canada. One of the biggest, right? They have so many cybersecurity clients and jobs and stuff. So, when there's a project, or probably a company wants to understand their security posture and all those things, they just take, they'll probably just take you and one other person, 2 or 3 people assigned to a company. You are going there to engage with them. You are going there to elicit requirements. You are going there to understand their needs, understand their pain point, understand their challenges. Based on all of these things, you have to what? Document. Are you seeing the correlation now between BA and cyber? You are documenting all this, and at the end of the day, you are not thinking about solutioning, right? You might even have to do design, right? By then, you now work with the technical team, the security architect guys, depending on whatever solution that needs to be implemented. The experience from BA, you can take it on anywhere. That is one beauty when you talk about the BA experience. Because that elicitation, engagement, stakeholder management, all those, you can take it anywhere, even in tech leadership. When I got into tech leadership, the BA experience I acquired many years ago, I'm still using them till today. That is the beauty of it. Again, you might find yourself in a company where they are implementing cybersecurity projects, right? And they need business analysts with experience in cybersecurity for requirement gathering, elicitations, and all that. This is where domain experience comes in. You're not a business analyst, but you also have what? Cybersecurity understanding. So when you are in a team and they are discussing, throwing the lingos, the terminologies and all these things, you are not lost. You will be able to follow. You understand what they are talking about. So there are so many intersections that you can think about, okay? In fact, at the current cohort that is wrapping up, we have some business analysts in our previous cohort that are in the cybersecurity class right now. What is the implication? Cybersecurity, business analysis, you earn yourself with both. Trust me, the sky is your limit, okay? All right, great question there. Now, what I'm gonna do, Olayinka, just give me a few minutes. Let's get Ini. I can see so many hands up. Guys, we are coming back to all of you. But let's get Ini, to share our own story as well for a few minutes so that we can now take all the questions at once. I think that would be a great way to tackle this. Else, we need to manage time as well too, right? Ini was very, very focused. She knew what she wanted. She knew that tech is the way for her. In terms of beating underemployment, in terms of, leveling up her skills and getting the kind of salary she deserved. She also knew that work is required. She got to put in commitment, put in work into it. She, of course, did the program with Black Tech, incredible, resource. You remember her vividly in class, very resourceful, asking questions, because that's what we beg of everybody. You don't understand stuff, ask questions. Nobody will say, this question is stupid. No, it's a vulnerable community where you ask questions and get all answers. And today, glad and happy, to see Ini doing very well and crushing her dream in the cybersecurity space. Ini, how are you today?
I'm fine. Good evening, Asita.
Yes, good evening. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. How are you too?
I'm very, very well today. And how is Calgary?
I'm in Edmonton.
Edmonton, sorry, don't mind me. Most time everybody in that once it's Calgary, Edmonton, Alberta, I just compare everybody to be in Calgary. Yeah, Edmonton. How is Edmonton?
Edmonton is great. Edmonton is great. Thank you.
Fantastic. Excellent. So it's great to see that, having alumni, Olayinka from Winnipeg, Ini from Edmonton, there are so many who would have also bring on, right? We have those from Saskatchewan, from UK, from Nigeria, so that you see a lot of humans that have been able to walk the path and today doing very well. But Ini, just a quick about your background. Can you share a little bit with us? What did you study in school, and what was the experience like you when you came to Canada?
Thank you once again. Good evening, everyone, and I'm so happy to be here. So for me, I came from a non-tech background. I studied history for my first degree and then gender for my second degree. So it was like nothing related to tech at all. And I used to work in research. So I was mainly, on the field researching. And of course, when tech came in, I knew I wanted to pivot into tech, cybersecurity became, a choice because after doing a lot of research, I actually started to read about the different domains in tech to see, okay, which one can I easily, put in my soft skills. I discovered that cybersecurity was different because it's a field where you can bring all of your soft skills. I remember, was it Adiola that asked, okay, as a business analyst, can I, pivot? Yes, because cybersecurity, one of the biggest soft skills you need in cybersecurity is communication. You need to learn how to communicate, because what you're doing is you're protecting organizations' assets. And what are the assets? They're their customers and their data. So you need to be able to communicate clearly what you are trying to say. And trust me, you will be surprised that even so many people on your team that are not on the cyber team, they don't even understand the cyber terms. They don't even know what you're talking about. So, I saw that it was a field, or it's a field rather, where I could bring all of that, active listening, my research skills, active, great communication skills, both verbal and written, presentation skills. That's very, very important, because you need to learn how to, present to stakeholders. You need to show them, okay, this is what we are talking about, especially if you are getting them to invest their money into, purchasing some things to help them, like firewalls, intrusion detection systems. You need to tell them why you need them to do that and put their money into investing in those things. So that was how I started. I saw that, okay, this field, and you don't need coding skills to come into cybersecurity. Trust me, there's this saying that goes in the industry out that technical skills can be taught, but your soft skills cannot. They need somebody you need to be teachable for them to even teach you the technical skills. And that is what organizations are looking for mostly. They need someone with those soft skills. So I was able to bring in those soft skills, and I knew that, okay, this is it. Cybersecurity is that field I want to be in, for sure.
Fantastic. Spot on, Ini. Communication skill, you can't take it away in any of this. You have to speak, you have to, actually clarify specifically what the needs are, what the issues are, what the challenges are. Even when you are categorizing the assets that you want to protect, things have to be well spot on. I'm very, very astonishing. Do you know, I never knew you read history. I never knew. History of all subjects, of all domains. Can you believe that? And today, completely different. And see, that is the beauty of tech, because think about it. Someone that studied history, like there's a lady I was speaking with last 2 weeks, she studied botany. There was one I spoke with last year. Today she's already working as a data analyst. Guess what she studied? Parasitology and entomology. when I was speaking with her and I told her, she was like, she's even confused. She doesn't even know what to do in terms of career in Canada, because she talked about what she studied, talked about she's been in marketing back in Nigeria. Now she doesn't even know what to do and stuff like that. But tech is a lifesaver, because in tech, you don't necessarily need to say, oh, let me go and wait for 3-year licensing for me to get into tech. No, it's acquire the skill and hit the ground running. So it's incredible knowing that, hey, you've been able to, achieve all the successes you've achieved, even with the fact that you do not have tech background. Then another quick thing I just want to hear from you is, at what point did you make up your mind to say, let me go for cybersecurity? Because there are several areas. You have data analysis, we have business analysis, cloud computing, so many areas. But for you were laser focused at that beginning, and you said, let me go for cyber. Even as you went into cyber, you are also curious too to pick up other skill set along the way. But at what point did you make up that mind?
Okay, so at that point when I read, so I began to do my research. I saw the skills that are necessary for cybersecurity, like the communication and presentation, and I was like, okay, this is a field where I can actually find a niche for myself. And the beauty of cybersecurity is, regardless of your background, there's always something for you to do, even in cybersecurity. Were you into sales before? You can be a sales specialist where you sell, cybersecurity tools and security protection tools to organizations. Were you a customer service support before? That's even a big one, because you have the skills already. So at that point, I knew that regardless if I was a teacher before, because I have, colleagues who used to be teachers and are now cybersecurity awareness specialists. What they do is, they teach awareness, they teach cybersecurity. They let people know, okay, you need to do this, good cybersecurity skills. So I knew that, okay, regardless of whatever skills I was bringing in, which I know I have a lot, everybody has a lot. I knew that cybersecurity was that very field for me. And, it wasn't just about, working and trying to struggle. You will work and you will have fun. You will work and you will have fun, because not today is the same thing. Every day is different. You have seen something different and you're tackling it. And, it was just, I just knew this was what I wanted. And yes, it's
fantastic. This is typical of what I typically refer to as developing that coconut head. So the coconut head in this case is not the other meaning of coconut head, but strong head. Resilience. That's what I mean here. Developing that resilient mindset, tenacity, being tenacious, right? And keep moving, because it's not easy, yes, but trust me, it's doable. That is it. Nothing good comes easy. I often say that if you're looking for a 6-figure job, it demands 6-figure commitment. So one thing as well that you just talked about right now was the fact that you have seen the different areas in cybersecurity. You did a bit of research and all those things helped you. And that was what, led you to, enroll into the Black Tech Cybersecurity program. That is fantastic. Then the final question I have for you before we now get our audience, to chip in a couple of questions is, for ladies, typically, I think it's changing now. But one thing that we've seen as well is that tech generally, there are more male, right? You have more male in tech than females. Sometimes women kind of probably might want to be on a bit of a reserve side, maybe do like their customer service, just that comfort zone. When call comes in, you pick your call, answer the call, and you just there, you are there, that kind of thing. But we're beginning to see that increase where women are now able to step forward to begin to take on different programs that initially people ascribe to men. We've seen women today in our cloud computing classes doing very well, cybersecurity, data analytics, and so many. So it's something that really gives me joy when I see women really stepping up. For you, I know even within your team, there might be fewer ladies in your team. How do you keep yourself motivated? Knowing that you're a woman and knowing that, okay, you are probably in a male-dominated field. How do you keep yourself motivated in terms of maybe support system, in terms of maybe network, in terms of, keep going, never allow yourself to feel that you are not good enough, or you are not able to measure up, because it's important to keep that motivation. How do you do that?
Thank you. That's actually a very good one. So being a woman and in a field where it's mainly male dominated, though changing, it's for women, I would say, be daring. So I am daring. Like, I go for it. This is what I want to do. I go for it. Talking in meetings, contributing. You don't just, doing the little things. Oh, I'm a woman and, I don't have to do the big things. The guys can do it. Especially as women, if we want to, be relevant in our field, in this field, in cybersecurity, I will speak to this, be daring. It's not easy, like Osita said, but outside of the box. Be ready to do things that these men do. If you have to stay late hours sometimes to read, to study, and to say cybersecurity is actually a field where you have to do a lot of research, because things are changing every time. Attackers are doing stuff every time. They're coming up with new tactics. So you're always ahead of the game. That's the thing. So be ahead of the game too. As a woman, it's a man's job. It's human's job. It's our job. It's cybersecurity professionals. There's nothing like, it's a man's job, or as a woman. And that's why sometimes I encourage women to go into, if you have the flair for the big technical aspect of cybersecurity, for it. Because sometimes we tend to feel, it's just for the men. I can just stay in GRC. There's nothing wrong with staying in GRC, honestly, if that is what you love. But if you like programming, you can go for pen testing, you can go for forensics, you can go for the bigger one. Just start it, and you will see sometimes you don't even know you can do some things unless you do it. So that's when being daring comes in. Go for it, go into it. I've had the opportunity to speak with so many women that come, cybersecurity, I learned it's technical. There are other not less technical parts of cybersecurity. But the truth is, you won't even know you can do something unless you actually try to do it. You don't know you can code unless you try to code. Code, right? I could do it. Imagine from history background, I think I could do it to start it. And I found it very interesting. This is fun. So I would say for women, be daring. Go for it. There's nothing like, it's for the men. It's for all of us.
Fantastic.
Our duty as cybersecurity professionals to protect our organization's assets. It is not just for men. They're employed as a woman because they know you can do it. So for you to get the job in the first place, it means that you had the abilities. They saw that ability in you. You were able to prove to them that I can do this job. So that's why they employed you in the first place. So when you get on the team, it's not like, you can do it, for it, changes, ideas. That one person in the room that they know that they cannot make some decisions without involving you. That's how it is. It's just in the faces of everybody there, and they know that this person is very important to our team, just as the men are.
Fantastic. I just feel like just leaving you to just continue. I'm telling you. We'll probably might have to, come up with a new masterclass sometime next month and just get you to come to speak, speak to the women. Already on the chat, you can see the accolades and the feedback on the chat. You're already inspiring the women folk here, which is great. Well done, Ini. Well done. I love the energy. I love the fact that you have even the confidence level it really increased. This wasn't how you were speaking in the first day that I met you. I can remember vividly then. There is the difference between then and now is like night and day. Well done. Congratulations once more. All right.
Thank you.
So let's not go straight into question because of time. So if you've got any question for Olayinka, Ini, and myself, please raise up your hand, okay? For the program itself, for those that want to join the program starting next week, feel free to register, and tomorrow you will get all the full program details. I've just shared the link on the chat now. Okay. If you want to know more about the program, the cost, the duration, the time, all those information, please register. The link has been shared on the chat, and the program team will send you all the details tomorrow morning. So do that, and you'll get all the details. There's an email there as well. Maybe you just want to send email to get a response or ask any question, feel free to send email as well. Then you want to speak with a career advisor. The WhatsApp number is there. Chat on WhatsApp or make a phone call, you will get the feedback. Or you want to speak with me. When you chat on WhatsApp, mention to them that you want to have one-on-one with Osita, and they will schedule a time between me and you just to speak. It could be cyber, it could be anything. As long as it's career related, we can have chat around that, okay? Now, let's move quickly to Tommy Singh. Tommy Singh, are you there?
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I have been in cyber for quite a while now. Well, I just moved from Nigeria. I was working as a cybersecurity analyst intern in Nigeria before I moved to Canada. And I am still trying to navigate my way around the job market. I just want to be clear. I'm working towards getting my Security Plus. Apart from Security Plus, I'm also working towards getting the AZ900 as well. Like, are there other certifications I should be on the lookout for to get a job in Canada?
Okay, great, Tommy Singh. Great. So it's great to know that you've been in cybersecurity before now. So it's something you've been working on within the space. So Security Plus is great. Another thing as well is depends, right? Typically, it depends on the area you are looking at. Do you have an area in mind already you are looking at? Are you looking at the more techie area of cyber, or you're looking at the softer side? Which of the areas?
The techie area. I'm currently into pen testing.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah. So for pen testing, I think there's also that pen test plus as well, a CompTIA security, CompTIA certification. Are you familiar with it? Tommy, so can you hear me? That's a pen test certification by CompTIA.
Yes, I'm familiar with it, but I'm looking towards getting the EJPT since it's more hands-on.
Oh, okay, okay. So you having that, then of course the Security Plus as well. Then another thing as well is tons of practicals, right? You might also find a way to set up lab, right? So that you're able to do a lot of practicals, because pen testing requires a lot of hands-on, right? So if you go through that, I think you should be fine. You should be fine. With the experience you already have in the past, then going through this, arming yourself with this certification, please. The next thing is your resume. Make sure your resume is spot on, right? You need to be able to showcase your skills on the resume so that you can apply for a job and get those calls for interview, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, quickly, let's go to MM. MM, are you there?
Hello?
Yes.
Okay, can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Okay, this question should be for Ini and Olainka.
Okay.
So this is what I just quickly want to ask. Like, do you by any chance feel like, I don't know, maybe a little bit of regret or something, like if maybe I came in contact with Black Tech? I don't know how long you've been in Canada. Like if maybe I came in contact with Black Tech like few months ago or few years ago, my life would have been much better in Canada. Or you just feel that even if I didn't come in contact with them, there's no regret. Maybe the petty job, maybe the PSW or security guard that I'm doing would have still fetched me the money that I'm getting out from cybersecurity. How will you want to explain that, if I may know?
Okay, okay, good question. So Ini, you want to attempt that?
Thank you, Amen. So the thing is, I am very grateful to have gone through Black Tech, because I know I didn't get to talk about my Black Tech experience, but I'm just going to go through it. Black Tech gave me that very, very, very solid foundation that I, needed for my cybersecurity career. It was amazing. We did a lot of things, both hands-on, practical. We walked through all the, the different subdomains in cybersecurity. So we like to say regret. I found Black Tech and I'm happy I did. And what I want to say is, regardless of what you do, we've talked about this in this session, how that your soft skills you've gained before are things that you can bring into tech, and they're very helpful for you. Very, very helpful for you. Finding Black Tech is a very great one for me. And I'm not going to lie. I'm very, very, very thankful. It was right on, spot on in my career. It was the right time for me. And I don't regret, the soft skills I gained before, because they are really, really helping. Like we talked about communication skills, research skills, presentation skills. Everything was just the right time. It was just spot on. And I'm very grateful about that.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much, Ini. And to kind of chime in on that question as well, see, typically there's no regret for any professional to have. Even if you come into this country and you start doing survival job, trust me, and along the line, you come in contact with Black Tech, you shouldn't be regretting. Say, oh, I knew I made Black Tech day one of coming to, the past is the past. The point is that anything you've done before now, they are part and parcel of your career journey. They are all experiences. That is the truth. You might not be earning big salary at that initial period, but whatever you are doing, especially, as long as you are working, even if it's not, the kind of salary you want, trust me, you must have built some skills, capability, network, and so many things that goes with it. So let's always be grateful about our journey. That is the truth. But at the same time, while we are bringing sessions like this, is to help so many that probably are not even aware, right? Today, we have so many students joining from Nigeria, Ghana, Zimbabwe, Kenya, in their home country, joining our programs. So what is the implication? They are going through the program to arm themselves with skills and capability before landing in Canada. That is the ideal thing. Unlike when, the way it is, many professional or immigrants, once that PR is approved, the next thing is, everybody is now thinking, okay, what do I sell? How do I move? Everything is about the movement. Many don't even sit down to think, what am I going to be doing when I get to that place? Many don't think about it. So it's when they come in, whatever they see, like customer service, they will start with those ones first, then gradually, before they can now begin to pivot into where they want to go. So my advice is, as you get this information, share with friends so that they will be aware of this. And that way you are helping them to ensure that they are able to get into things like this as early as possible, right? So that would be my advice. Let's move quickly to Uyo. I think we have 4 more hands and we will be able to call it a wrap after this. Uyo, are you there? And Hassan.
Yeah, good evening, Osita.
Evening, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Yes, go for it. You have 5 seconds.
Okay. I would like to know, for one who hasn't had work experience in Canada and then would really want to get a job. I know it's kind of challenging without work experience here for one to get job. So I don't know, can Black Tech stand in for such person, like to speak to companies on that person's behalf? I don't know if does that work?
Stand in.
Like to speak as, I don't know, is it that I'm going to get some work experience from Black Tech, and can you stand in for me as I've had some work experience, like some years worked with Black Tech for some years, or speak in for me as.
And when you get your salary, you're going to be giving it to Black Tech?
So the thing is, I haven't had work experience before, so I don't know.
So Uyo, what you're going to do is that, do you see the phone number on the chat?
Okay, yeah.
Yes, so please send a WhatsApp message on that number. Let's have a one-on-one. Let me fully understand what your background, what you are doing right now. And of course, I can fully understand your question and how we can support you. Okay?
Okay.
Send a WhatsApp message on that number and we'll take it from there. Let's go quickly to Dr. DR. Is that your name or your nickname?
Good evening, Osita.
Yes, good evening. How are you, my friend?
I'm very fine. And my name is Perry.
Okay.
Actually, yeah. So first of all, I want to thank Ini and Olainka for, your sharing your experience with us. So my question will be to the both of you. First question is, I would love to know what your day-to-day, like your typical day in the office, what it looks like when you get to the office, what you do, coming from the both of you who are probably in two different areas of cybersecurity. I think Olayinka is in GROC, while I think you are in a more technical space. So I'd love to know that. And secondly, who are your, how will I put it? Who are your stakeholders as, a cybersecurity analyst? Because I'm asking this coming with a little bit of experience as a business analyst. And my last question, so I would like to know, like in cybersecurity, who are your your stakeholders? You work like the business analyst across
okay.
time zones. And the last question is for someone who is not a very good communicator. What is the person's fate in the cybersec career path for someone who is not a very good communicator? Yeah, so those are the three questions I have. Thank you.
Okay, great. I will chime in on the communicator part, but let me allow Olainka to speak around, day to day. Like what does your day to day look like, Olainka? Do you just sit down and drink coffee, and just?
Yeah, so it's very interesting. So my day to day, as an analyst, I'm not fully in GRC, but some of my roles also require me to do some risk assessment for some assets in my organization. So my day to day, when I come in the morning, I have deliverables, of course. So I have metrics that are being used to measure me. Among them is I've been assigned to different projects. It depends on your organization. Maybe if you work with an organization that has matured their cybersecurity, like it depends on how, the level that they have gotten to, or maybe they are intermediate, or maybe at the lower level that they still have a lot of things that they are trying to put together. So it depends on where you find yourself. But typically, I know a lot of, for some of these roles, you work also a part of a project. So I have like 3-4 projects teams that I belong to. And what do I have to do in some of these projects? My input is to oversee the security aspect, how that affects the overall interest of the organization, the protection of our data, assets, information, endpoint, devices, and all that. So I have to bring in my input that, if you do this by this, what are the likely security risks? Maybe you want to implement a solution, I will have to suggest, do we have MFA, that's multi-factor authentication for maybe our customer to be using, from a security perspective. So that's one of the roles. I'm part of a project meeting. Then we also have team meetings where we discuss our challenges and our expectations every day. Then we also have vendors that we work with. Like, I think that also address your second question. We have some vendors, third party, that also manages some of our application with us. We also relate with those vendors. If you see something strange in our system, and maybe somebody signed on from somewhere, those vendors will also get alert. They will send to us. It's we, the analysts, that will look at it like, we will now contact maybe the service desk that, okay, this person signed on somewhere. What is going on? Is it malicious? Is it safe? Then we can respond back to the vendor like, everything is fine. And if it's anything that is funny, we quickly look for a way to remediate it. We also do a lot of awareness training for every member in the organization, because cybersecurity is everybody's role. Phishing is very real, so everybody needs to be aware. We also do trainings, we follow up to ensure that everybody come on board. And before you know it, all these roles comes to play every day, and you are doing your work. So these are just some of the things that I'm involved in everyday life. I don't know if I'm able to answer your question.
Fantastic, fantastic. Next question. Next question. But now, okay. The other question that you asked in respect to communication. So communication applies in anything we do. That's the truth. So it's not just cybersecurity, whether it's business analysis or data, anything you are doing, communication is required. So whether it's verbal communication or written communication, right? So one thing with the business analysis is, for business analysis, you might have to do more of verbal communication, right? Like facilitation of meeting stakeholders, But something like cybersecurity, it might not be too many of verbal, right? Because once you understand what you're expected to do, you sit down and you are doing your thing, right? As you are communicating via email. Then, of course, when you guys have a need to meet, to brainstorm, to look at retrospective, what is going on well, what is not, So when we talk about communication, let's not think as if one need to be an orator, excuse me, where you have to now come and be speaking, everybody's looking at you, then, as long as you can, you understand what you want to say and you say it, you communicate it for people to hear you and understand you, you are good. You are good. So I don't see any issue with communication for even you that asked this question, right? We're able to understand you very well. You communicated very well. So you are good, okay? So let's move quickly to Biodun. Biodun, are you here? Guys, let's make it brief, okay? With our question, just one question. Once you unmute yourself, Biodun, are you here? We can't hear you, Biodun. Let's go to Olu.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Yes, good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. My question to Mr. Olayinka and Ini. My question is that what's your role, what you do at work, your job description? So are they the same thing you did during your training program at LaTeX, or they are totally different from what you are doing currently? Thank you.
Okay, great question. Okay. Yeah, so let's go. Ini, you want to take that? Talking about the training, everything you learned, then versus what you are doing in the place of work. So how helpful was the training for you? Let me put it that way, based on what you are doing today. And then, of course, in the place of work, are there other things you encounter that you are not able to deal with?
Thank you for that question. Actually, yes, everything you would do on the field or at work is very, very, very much related to what you've been trained. So depending on your role and depending on the organization and depending on your clients, you can actually now take out some. You may not even end up using some at that point, or they would train you on some. But the major thing is it's cybersecurity. You are learning how to protect assets, which is what the LaTeX training is teaching you. You are learning how to use tools. Like one of the major tools in cybersecurity, depending on your role, is SIM. So you're learning how to use SIM dashboards. You're learning how to, communicate your policies. When you get to the GRC subdomain part, you're learning that, how to do your risk assessment, your risk analysis. So it's not different from what you'll be doing at your workplace or on the field, actually. It's not. It's just like depending on what you now end up doing. Sometimes you may not even use some of those tools, but it's good to know. I know one thing Osta always says is to learn everything and you don't use it than to now need it and you don't now know it. That one is not good. But you will have everything, the confidence, you can speak to it, your presentation skills, and the capstone project. It really, really helps a lot. Really, really, really helps a lot. You can, it's bringing a scenario from a real work experience such that when you encounter something like that or something close to that in your environment, you can know how to tackle it. You know the resources to go and look for it. You know what to do. So yes, it's not different, but it just depends on what you end up doing. You can now add to it, which they will train you, or you can now not end up using some things at the very moment, but they could come in handy at the end of the day. Yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you, Ini. Thank you. All right, let's go quickly to Biodo. No, Olu, Ade. Guys, we've got 12 more minutes to wrap this up. So let's see how we could, the hands, instead of reducing, I'm seeing more hands. Olu, Ade, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Okay, go for it. How are you today?
Very well, thank you. And you?
Excellent.
All right, thank you for putting this together. Okay, so my question is, so I want to confirm now, the training that we're going to undertake, will it be the same duration for those going for technical and then those going for non-technical cybersecurity course or something? Thank you.
Okay, great question there. Yeah, so just like I mentioned at the beginning, using the analogy of medical school, right? You want to become a surgeon, then of course you enroll in a medical school. They will start with anatomy, physiology, and all those. So that is the way the program is structured. So you're going to be going through both the technical side. That is why we encourage everyone, you're coming in, you need to have an open mind to learn, So even if you want to do GRC, you are not coming in just to learn only GRC. That is not the way the program is structured. It's structured so that you are able to develop capabilities in different areas. Then on your own, you can now decide to focus on the area that you want to focus on. It's our utmost desire to produce well-rounded cybersecurity professionals. Instead of just, for example, you want to do GRC, we just train you only on GRC. Then when you go into a meeting in your place of work and you are in the boardroom and people are discussing, stakeholders are talking about cybersecurity, some are throwing in they're talking about network analysis, forensic, penetration testing, you are just looking at them. You don't understand what they are saying because you are a specialist on GRC alone. So our vision is to get you cover all the different areas, both the technical, the soft one, the forensic analysis. There's another one we call cryptography. You're going to cover all this in addition to the soft one. So when you are done, you will be well grounded. If you want to do GRC, of course, you continue and focus on GRC. If you want to do the network analysis or the technical side of things, you can focus on that. But the program has prepared you to have a solid foundation, so that anywhere you find yourself, you can speak as a cybersecurity professional. Okay? Let's move quickly to BJ.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Yes, how are you today?
I'm good. And you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you.
Thank you, Bamidele. I think you just boost my confidence. I love the way you speak. Thank you so much. For Osita, and thank you, the other speaker. I'm trying to get out his name. I can, but thank you as well. Olayinka, thank you so much for taking out time. Osita, just what I'm asking is, I've registered for the program. I just want to know, after the program, do you help to say, this is where I think you should focus on, or this is where, or I will make the decision myself? And secondly, when entering the field, is this something that they normally take fresh intake? Like companies will say, I'll train you and you go in for it. Because I've done other programs before. And after that, I find it so difficult to get a job because I just noticed I have to boost and lie on my CV. And when they call me to start the job, I always run away because I know that's not what I can do. And I don't want to face such challenge anymore. And for Bami, I just want to ask, after the program with Black Tech, did you do any other training aside that? Because you're so confident in yourself. And I'm looking forward to talk like you. I just want to know. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, BJ. What's your name again? What's your name?
I'm BJ, Beloved Joy.
Oh, okay. Beloved Joy. Okay, cool. All right. So the training prepares you to be able to secure cybersecurity roles. You are coming with something, no matter your background. Whether you've done anything like compliance before or not, or security or not, you are coming with something. Even if it's communication, even if it's teamwork, collaboration, you are coming with something. So that is why we've seen alumni that finish and they secure $140-something thousand job. Senior cybersecurity analyst, no prior tech background, right? There are some that will finish, they will be able to secure entry-level cybersecurity role, like about $90,000. So it all depends. In terms of which one to eventually go for, that is where you can sit with a mentor, right? We have cybersecurity mentors that you can now book a session and a mentor will sit with you to understand your career goal, your worldview, everything that you think you want to do, right? It's your decision, but we can guide you, right? Work with you so that you ensure that you're making the right decision. Because sometimes to make decision, you need information, you need understanding of the market, what is in the market, right? What is the outlook like in terms of this particular domain in the market? When you have all this information, I think they will now help you to fully, make that particular decision. So you're not going to walk alone. We're here to support you along the line. Okay, let's move quickly now. The other question she talked about was INI. She was talking about your confidence level, and she was talking about, okay, what are the additional things possibly that you did? Was there anything else that you did as well that also kind of helped you as well?
Yes, thank you. So I actually, keep learning. That's it. And, keep reading and, getting the certs. I love certifications, and that's because they help me to learn more. Honestly, I find them and that's because I read, like I put everything into it to get it. So it helps me to speak to it and, learn more from it. So it's just continuous learning. And sometimes one thing I also tell people is sometimes even for interviews, by the time you start going for more interviews, it helps you to build your confidence because you already know what organizations want. I think Olayinka mentioned something like that. You know what they want, you know what they're looking for, and that way you start to build your confidence. Even for the workplace, like you're just very, very confident. And because they don't want to hire someone that is timid, they want you to be able to speak to what you say you can do.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. See, even if you don't know everything, just 50%, there's a way you can actually speak to that 50%, and it looks like 200%. And that's what they need. They need somebody that they can teach, but is willing to learn. Yeah.
I love that. I love to hear things like that. I love to hear things like that. Even if it's 50%, blow your trumpet, right? Get it. Let them feel that it's already 500%. That is it. You concentrate on your strengths, amplify your strengths while you work on your weakness. But the strength got to be amplified. So in summary, what INI is saying is continuous improvement. Continuous improvement. You are coming into it, whether it's cybersecurity, business analyst, data, anywhere, as long as you need to be a long life learner, right? You're not going to come in and you finish and then you get the job and you now sit down and you are relaxed. No, you want to also continuously learn new things, understand what is happening out there. What other skills do I acquire and stuff like that? Very important. Let's go to Esteem. Esteem, are you there?
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Mr. Osita. Really appreciate the effort you're putting into all of this. So my question is really around graduates of the Black Tech program, especially as it relates to looking for job after the program. So suppose I don't have a cybersecurity experience, and I decide to put Black Tech as my sole experience to an employer. So, and the employer calls Black Tech, just to confirm that I actually work with Black Tech. So what would be Black Tech's response in this case? Just so that I don't come off as maybe lying about my experience or, something of that nature. Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah, great question. But again, first of all, you are not going to be putting Black Tech on your resume without approval from Black Tech. I just want to mention that. So if you look at my back, you will see that we have there's an ecosystem called Expert Edge. I'm not sure if you can see that properly. So this is a consulting company, right? And a subsidiary of the Black Tech ecosystem. As I speak to you now, we have 20-something of our alumni, over 20-something right now working on different projects. Okay, so Black Tech as an ecosystem, One of the things we also do is consulting services. So we consult for a number of companies and communities. So most of our students are actually the consultants on our projects. So when you look at the organization, you will discover that for you to work here, of course, you must have passed through Black Tech. Then there's an opportunity. Of course, you are assigned on a project. With that, comfortably, you can use our ecosystem as a place you are working. The company is there. You are working there. So organization reaches to us for references and referral on your behalf. We'll be able to provide all the references. We've done that for hundreds of our students. Okay, so it's something that we do, but it has to be vetted. It's not like, oh, because you did a program, then you use it. No. So there are criteria, you know, because there are people that just call, oh, can I use the organization on my resume? We don't know you. You haven't done a training. You haven't done a project. You haven't even worked in our consulting outfit. How do we do that? So everything I've got what? I've got, you know, criteria. You don't just, you know, do stuff, right? So if you don't have any experience at all, and you are looking at what? Coming into the ecosystem, primarily, your focus will be to learn, to acquire skills, to acquire capability. Your major focus should not be to use the company on your resume. While we can approve that if you meet the requirements, but the most important thing is what? To acquire skills and capability and work on projects. So that when you acquire these skills and capability and projects, we can defend it at any point in time because you have worked on projects. So that is what I'm going to say to you, okay? Those are very, very those are possibilities, but there are very, very, very strict criteria around that, okay? Let's move quickly to Njideka. Njideka, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good evening, everyone.
Yes, good evening. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And you?
Excellent. Please, you have 10 seconds if possible. After Njideka, we will go to Lanley. After Lanley, Emeka, and we call it a wrap. Just 3 persons now. Njideka, go for it, please.
Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity. I raised my hand earlier, then I put it down because I felt maybe my questions isn't necessary, but I gathered my confidence and decided to ask. First, I want to appreciate Ini for her presentation. It was apt and it gave me confidence to speak as well. And coming from a different background, I must admit that I have this fear. I'm not gonna lie, like, is this something I can do? I'm coming from HR background. So I've been asking myself, is this what you really want to go into? Do you want to do this? But I think I'm gonna need to speak to the advisors to get that clear, but I already made up my mind somehow that I'm going into cybersecurity and I'm ready to read. Then secondly, I want to ask Ini and Olayinka, have you ever been in a situation like on your job that you came across a situation that you probably didn't know what to do? You had to go back to ask maybe the Black Tech guys how to help you out or something like that. Like, have you been in a difficult situation that you weren't sure how to handle or what to do about it? And then finally, I want to ask Mr. Osita if there is a WhatsApp group, or Ini can answer us, if there is a WhatsApp group for tech cybersecurity people, that way where people share information, just like you say, you need to read and get to know what's happening. So do you have like a group or something where you share information like that?
Spot on. Njideka, thank you very much. Great questions there. So let me take on that on the second part. Yes. So once you enroll in our program, we have Slack channel. We also have WhatsApp group as well. And of course, that is where you continue to collaborate with the faculty. In fact, the beauty of the program is that you have 24/7 access to the faculties. So it's not like a college where if you have a question, you have to wait till the next class to ask the question. So this is continuous learning environment. You drop the question, at any point in time, you get a response. So it's continuous learning. And we also have a space channel as well for alumni. So as soon as you finish, you join the alumni community for cybersecurity, where you will now continue to collaborate with others and continue to grow along the line. Growing along the line, that will also help you so that if you have any question, you have any challenge, then you will be able to do what? You'll be able to collaborate with others and get all the support that you need, including our mentors as well. Okay? Then the first part, you want to take that. She was talking about support now. You've gotten the job, you got stuck at some point, are you able to reach back and get support?
Hi, thanks for the question. Yes, support is readily available. And one good thing about the program is you build, community. So I have, friends that I made from this program, and they are really, really, amazing. So that's one good thing. Yes, there's that support. There's a WhatsApp group. There's the Telegram group. There's support. You can reach out to the faculty. And there's also the community that you've built, while in the program, your friends, which is why I would encourage that as you come into the program, be open-minded, be ready to learn, and also network, build friendship. It's very amazing. It's different when you have built friendship with somebody. You can reach out at any time of the day. Hey, what's up? I need help with this thing. And they are ready to help you. And that's because you've come to that level of of community. You've built that network experience. And also the first thing you talked about, confidence coming from HR, like we've been talking throughout this masterclass, there's no experience you have that is a loss in cybersecurity. And the good thing with cybersecurity is you can be, I don't know how to say it, you can be like data skills, bring it to cybersecurity. It works. HR skills. So that means you are actually depending whether payroll or recruiting. You are used to these things. You know what people look out for. It's not lost. You're interacting with people. You can present things. You have all the skills. You have all the confidence. You have everything. So you have all the confidence you need for cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is not different. I will tell you, it is not different. Don't see it as a you need to be a coder, one very, very big technical, field that you have to learn one big thing. The technical aspect of cybersecurity, if that is what interests you along the line after you've built that foundation, it is easy to get. It's one step at a time and you get it. But the skills you have, it is not lost. It is an amazing field where you can, build on everything you have and it works for you. Trust me.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Ini. And Njideka, also want to appreciate you for summoning the courage to ask questions. I mean, trust me, that is what we always advocate. No question is stupid. The more you're able to engage, ask questions, the more you're able to develop those confidence too, right? Trust me, I can tell you, Ini speaking like this wasn't Ini some months ago. Today is a different ball game, but she intentionally took it upon herself to, communicate, to engage, to ask questions. And that is really what I encourage everyone listening to me to do. Whether you're in a program or in a place of work, always find way to engage, to ask questions. Nobody will kill you. That is the truth. Nobody will say, shut up. No, right? So just articulate your point and ask. When you do that, there's a way you will feel within you. Oh, I was able to ask questions, I get response, and gradually confidence will, because there's this thing we call imposter syndrome as Black people, that most time you are just second guessing yourself. Even something you are second guessing. If I say this thing now, will it be correct? Like, say it, regardless, right? So let's continue to push, guys, push the boundaries, push the barriers, and achieve the success that we deserve. Okay? Adedoja, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good evening, Osita.
Good evening. You've got 10 seconds.
Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity. My question goes around, I'm a lawyer. I'm an international trained lawyer with over 2 decades of experience. And since I made up my mind to transition into tech world, my main focus was cybersecurity because I have the mindset of how I can be an impact to fighting cybercrime. So ever since then, I've not really sat down. I've been, going from one course to the other. But the challenge that I had though, which I believe Black Tech is going to offer, is that mentorship process. Because I must tell you, I've done Splunk. I have the core user certification. I'm learning, self-learning anyway, PCI DSS, and I've been able to go through some aspects of cybersecurity. But the challenge that's still on my way, the fear of, okay, which particular niche in particular. I know GRC is a good one, but before I knew about GRC, I'd already ventured into all these little courses.
Other areas, yes.
Yeah, so that's where my question now is that, do you still think all those little effort I've made, even if I had to go into GRC, do you think it makes sense, or I should still continue in that other side of cybersecurity, maybe as cybersecurity analyst or information security analyst or something? That's my question. Thank you.
Yeah, fantastic. Well done, Adedoja, and congrats on making those, I would say, efforts, right?
Thank you. Thank
you.
you.
So, learning is continuous. Nothing you have learned that you can call a waste. Nothing. All those experiences will come to be at some point. That is the truth. So if you've done something like Splunk, you've done, you've gone ahead to do some other technical aspect, trust me, you get into this program, it's going to be pretty easier for you because you already have some solid foundation around some of these areas. Then what the program will now do is to solidify these experiences for you. Then, of course, access to mentor that will guide you on the path and, of course, provide you guidance and resources, including job referrals. I didn't mention one of the banks hired seven cybersecurity professionals from this program. 7 people were hired in one day by one of the banks. They just reached out and said, I know there is Black Tech Cybersecurity Cyber School. We are looking for entry-level SOC analysts. 7 people were hired in one day. So that is one of those things about Black Tech that I didn't even talk about, because we are not just focusing on training, we are training and also with the eye on how will these students get jobs. That is why we have the consulting outfit through which you could do projects, and we have more than 40 organizations that we partner with through strategic partnerships. Some of them, when they're looking at employing people in terms of diversity, having more Black people in their team, they reach out to us to hire from our ecosystem as well. All these are the positive that you see today. Black Tech have recorded consistently 20-something job offers every single month across all our programs. 20-something jobs. Combination of jobs from BA, data, cyber, cloud computing, everything 20-something every single month. I'm not sure there's any community organization, even colleges in Canada that can boast of that. Because the truth is that most of these schools, they train you and that is it. It's about knowledge for them. For us, it's also about support so that we ensure that at the end of the day, you acquire these skills, you get the support in order to advance your career. So at the end of the day, I would say go for it. In the program, we even have those that are CISSP certified in the current class now, right? 2 people, CISSP, that you think is already the topmost echelon of cybersecurity certification, but they're in this program. Why? They have CISSP certified, but no job. Now they are here. Number 1, build community, as Ini mentioned. Number 2, access to mentorship. Number 3, access to the ecosystem support, and so many other things that you gain when you are part of the ecosystem. Because it's important, because when you are just alone, things can be overwhelming. But you have a community where you can work with others, reach out to others, get those support, they can go a long way. And that is really part of the success that we are seeing in our ecosystem today. Let's go quickly to Lanley.
Thank you, Sister. Thank you so much for the... Sorry, can you hear me?
No, you have to mute one of your devices. We are getting echo. Can you mute one of your devices and let me know when you are done on the chat? Emeka, go for it. Emeka, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me? Good evening.
Yes, you've got 5 seconds, please.
All right. My question is very simple and straightforward. I just want to ask how your program is it more of a hands-on kind of program that you conduct? Because mostly I notice it's not all about having the training. It's still also all about having the hands-on experience and learning some tools that can help you. I work as a business system specialist right now, but I have my background is solid in IT. My first degree is in computer science. I went to college also here.
Nice.
Business technology management.
Nice. So because of time, let me take on that. Yes. So it's combination, right? Like I said before, it starts with theories, there's practicals, and there's also project. So you have again, that is also the difference. In some colleges, you go learn cybersecurity is pretty all reading slide, and that is all. Here, you have to use the tools as well. So we introduce you to a lot of tools, both vulnerability assessment tool, penetration tool, cryptography tool. There are a couple of tools that cybersecurity analysts use that you're going to also learn how to use as part of the program. So it's a combination of theories, practicals, and you're working on a project, okay? All right, guys. Lanle, let me see. Are you able to speak now?
Yeah, Osita, can you hear me?
Perfect. You are good now. Go ahead.
Okay,
5
thank
seconds.
you. So just a quick one. Thank you for your, for all what you've done, your training. I mean, your presentation so far. I just want to know for some of us that we don't have background in IT, that for instance, I'm an accountant. Okay, so I want to venture into cybersecurity, and I also done some certification in cybersecurity like CICP and all that. But however, my challenge is the hands-on experience, right? Where you could, you made mention of your expert edge, and I want to find out after this training, is there, apart from this expert, because you also mentioned that is when you have a project, do you have series? I mean, companies that you partner with that we can do like a job placement, even if it's for 2 months, just to have an hands-on experience while in a short time after the program that you can have, can be, without pay, right? But you can just, to learn the add-on experience, please. I don't know. I just want
to spot on. Great question. Just like I mentioned, all these are possibilities, right? In terms of partnership, I say we have over 40 companies. Some of them, they're interested in hiring full-time, and they hire straight away. Like I mentioned, one of the bank hires 7 people in 1 day. So those are possibilities. Then we have the consulting arm where you work. Of course, you work. Some of the projects are pro bono, while some you paid for it, right? Just remember, some of the organizations, we are doing more like what we call, what you call CSR, corporate social responsibility. For example, there's one municipality here that we just finished their incident response plan and all that for free. But our student worked on that project. We have some, of course, that we engage, they have to pay, and of course, the students or the alumni, of course, will be paid as well. So there's all variation of that, you understand? So there are a lot of possibilities, either internship, full-time job, or talking about having some form of placement. These are all possibilities. Another thing I want to mention is we have partnership with this company called Career Edge. If you Google them, Career Edge organization, they are the biggest organization in Canada that focuses on paid internships. So Black Tech today is a partner with them. What does that imply? This organization, they focus on only internship. They have access to more than 100 companies in Canada. So they partner with these organizations. This organization reach out to them for interns. So we partnering with them means we have access to more than 100 companies that they work with. And these are possibilities too. So it all depends on opportunities, when opportunities come. And once they come, of course, our students are the first people to have access to this. That is why we don't announce this out there, because we have students, we have alumni internally that always take on these opportunities when the opportunity shows, okay? So incredible stuff we are doing. We are not just focusing on training. We are focusing on training, focusing on support, focusing on jobs. So you can see how the ecosystem is built. That's why we talk about Black Tech being an ecosystem, not just a training organization. No, we are doing much more than a training organization. And of course, that is also testament to the incredible successes that we have recorded as well. Okay, thanks everyone for joining. Unfortunately, I will not be able to take more questions because of time. Akib, I know your hands has been up. Please, I will appreciate if you can drop your question on the chat, or through the WhatsApp WhatsApp phone number on the chat, please. I just send the link. You can just drop your question there. Trust me, someone will respond to you. Or you can tell them that you want to reach out to me, and I will definitely make out time to speak with you. Guys, I've dropped the link again for those that want to register for the program starting next week, Saturday. Don't miss it. Once you miss this one, the next one is going to be starting sometime in October, November. So this is the opportunity you have now to get in and be able to what? Level up your career and join others to achieve success as you look forward to beating underemployment and moving straight into six-figure and accelerating your career. Thank you so much for coming, our excellent alumni, Olayinka and Ini. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your time. Thank you so very much coming on board to share your experience and, of course, to motivate our audience today. We really appreciate you, Olayinka and Ini. God bless you. Thank you, guys, and continue to shine. Continue to shine and remain awesome, because you guys are awesome already. So we cannot, thank God enough that you guys are doing very well. And of course, several other alumni that are incredibly doing well today as well. That is the vision, that is the mandate, and we are happy seeing, ambassadors like you, crushing your dream and taking things to the next level. Thank you, Ini and Olayinka, and wishing you guys the very best of the evening. And to everyone that joined us today, we want to appreciate you once again for joining. One thing about information is that sometimes these masterclasses are free. Not everybody takes it serious. But for those that really wants to change their current situation, they come in, they gain. They don't just gain the information, but they make a move, right? Sometimes you don't even know what you can accomplish until you make a move. Ini mentioned that as well. From history to cybersecurity. If she can do it, everyone here can do it. That is the truth. So what I want to tell you is to make a move. You want to change the course of your career. You want to get straight to where you belong. You want to make a move. And incredibly, the program is highly discounted for Black professionals. More than 50% discount for Black professionals. So you have no reason whatsoever to say, oh, the program is expensive. Very cheap compared to what is obtainable out there. Yet the impact is incredible. The result, the outcome has been top-notch. So if you are looking at doing this, don't waste time even for a second, because the slot will be filled up anytime from now. Thank you, guys, and have a very good evening, everyone. I think I can stop the recording at this time.